functions. What are its uses in a neural network model? This is a very important. So activation functions are really important for artificial neural network to learn and make sense of something really complicated and non-linear complex functional mappings between the inputs and response variable. So it is a little bit complex, or you can write like this: to change, to convert the linear property into non-linear property, we are using activation functions. Okay, here they introduce non-linear properties to our network. Their main purpose is to convert an input signal of a node in ANN to an output signal. Okay, signal is nothing but value. Okay, don't think about something. Okay, so you try to understand what is the need of activation function. Here also I given complete definition and simple terms. Activation function decides whether a neuron should be activated or not by calculating weighted sum and further adding bias with it. We will add the bias after summation or something. The purpose of the activation function is to introduce non-linearity into the output of a neuron. Okay, so if there is a linearity, it converts automatically. Non-linearity, when it converts while applying the activation function after calculating the sum of products. Okay, so here we will add bias automatically. So example I told you now, do we need non-linear activation functions? So a neural network without an activation function is essentially just a linear regression model. The activation function does the non-linear transformation to the input, making it capable to learn and perform more complex tasks. Okay, so now you understand. Example, house. If I want to buy a house in Guntur city, now I want to estimate the house price. So it will be linear only, linear equation. Suppose if I want to make a graph in all areas in Guntur, I will get linear equation only from low level to high level. Okay, so then I will get linear equation, but I want to confirm the value either 1 or either 0. That means either I will purchase or not. Okay, so that is called non-linearity. That non-linearity we can achieve by applying activation functions. I hope you understand now. Okay, so here you know 2 layers. So input layer, hidden layer and output layer. Why I called 2 layers here? We will not consider input layer. So only here we are inputting inputs. Okay, these inputs are forwarded with the corresponding weights to hidden layer, and here some calculations done. These calculations are inputs to hidden layer. Okay, actually this hidden layer is normally we will abstract while constructing neural network, but for your understanding point of view, so I am explaining here hidden layer node 1 and hidden layer node 2. This is the output. Here we are using some activation functions. Okay, now calculations. This you can practice, no problem. Even if you didn't understand, just you can send a message to me, I will explain. Okay, yeah, different types of activation functions. So I explained in the class so many times. Threshold, piecewise linear function, next hyperbolic tangent function, tan h, sigmoid function, ReLU function, leaky ReLU also there, and soft max function.
Soft max function.
Yeah, first you remember all the names. So what is the first function? Threshold. Okay. Next piecewise linear function, and next linear function, next sigmoid function, next after sigmoid function tan h, next ReLU soft max.
Soft max function.
Yeah. So all of you first know the names of activation function. So here you know what is activation function. So this threshold only decides based on this function. You can see this function f of x equal to, if x less than 0, it returns the value 0, okay, at output level. If x equal to 1, sorry, if x is greater than or equal to 0, the value x is greater than 0, it is greater than or equal to 0, it returns the value 1 output, okay. So this graphical representation of threshold, okay. So where we will apply this activation function? Just go to the last picture, Michelowicz-Spitz model 5, okay. This here we will apply the threshold function, okay. So here all the calculations will be done. These calculations will be forwarded to activation function, or we can apply activation function on this net input calculated value. So here the value, suppose we are applying threshold value, that value is either 0 or 1, okay. So if it is 0, the value is x equal to 0 or x less than 0, okay. If it is 1, the value is x greater than or equal to 0. The output value is here 0, the value is less than 0. When you receive the output value 1, the value is greater than or equal to 0, okay. That we can define symbolically like this, okay. So normally it is a digital signal, 0 at down and 1 at high, okay. So very easy. Next, piecewise linear function, we have 3 values here. So 1, v, 0. So here plus 1 by 2. The activation function value v is greater than or equal to plus or minus plus 1 by 2. It returns the value 1. Greater than minus 1 by 2, it returns the value. Here it see it is a limit minus 1 by 2 less than v less than plus 1 by 2. So then the value is v less than or equal to minus 1 by 2, 0. So here threshold only takes 2 values. Here piecewise linear function, it takes 3 values, okay. So just remember, so this is the graph. So 0.5 minus 0.5, okay, minus 0.5 here, 0 is here, it lies between 0.5 and minus 0.5. If it is more than 0.5, it will be like this, okay. And very important, linear function. So this linear function is like slope of the line y equal to mx plus b, the values minus infinity to range minus infinity to plus infinity. So we have to remember, okay, if there is no bias, the equation we can write y equal to mx, that it must passes through the center, okay. Here we have a bias, if it bias, it passes through the 0, okay. So that I mentioned here the points here, y equal to ax, okay. There is no bias, it passes through the origin. If there is a bias, it will not pass through the origin, either above the 0 or below the 0, okay. That's all, okay. So linear activation function is used just one place at output layer. So if we will differentiate linear function to bring non-linearity, result will no more depend on input x and function will become constant. okay, directly. So normally linear function always gives the linear value, okay. So if you want to get convert into non-linearity, we can give a constant value that will be constant, okay. So that don't worry about now, okay. So try to remember what is the formula for this and what is the range, okay. How we are going to define y is equal to ax without bias, with bias y is equal to ax plus b. What is the range minus infinity to plus infinity, where we will apply this activation function at output layer, okay. And what is the graphical symbol? This is the graphical symbol, okay. Just you remember these 4 points. And example here, calculation price of a house is a regression problem, and you can go through this and you can understand, okay. And next, very important, and definitely they will ask you in exam, sigmoid function, okay. It is a function which is plotted S shaped graph. A equal to, what is the equation? 1 divided by 1 plus e power minus x. You have to remember this value, okay. What is the nature? It is a non-linear. If there is a linearity, if you apply this activation function, it will be converted automatically to non-linear. So what is the range of x? X value, range 0 to 1 of this activation function, okay. So remember the range 0 to 1. This graph is S-shaped graph. That's why we can call it as a sigmoid graph, okay. So here you can see the range 0 to 1, okay. Minimum value 0 and maximum value 1, okay. So if the value, when it becomes 0, so usually it is used in the output layer for binary classification. This you have to remember. So whenever we are going to classify the data, either belongs to 0 or either belongs to 1, then we are using the sigmoid function, where the result is either is 0 or 1. The value for sigmoid function lies between 0 and 1 only. The result can be predicted easily to be 1 if value is greater than 0.5, okay. It is a greater than 0.5, it classifies as 1. If it is the less than or equal to 0.5, it can be classified as 0, okay. So remember these points also. And hyperbolic function, tangent. So this activation function mainly we can apply hidden layers. So remember this point, okay, where we are going to apply this tan h function, okay. The activation that works most always better than the sigmoid function, and this is also known as tangent hyperbolic function. So you can write points. It is actually mathematically shifted version of the sigmoid function. Both are similar and it can be derived from each other, but there the range is 0 to 1, but here the range is -1 to +1, and you have to remember the equation 2 divided by 1 plus e to the power of -2x minus 1, okay. Or you can write tan h of x equal to 2 into sigmoid of 2x minus 1, okay. So the nature of this activation function is also non-linear, and this point you have to remember, usually used in hidden layers. The beginning of tan h function I told you, it is used maximum in hidden layers of neural network, okay. Its value always lies between -1 to 1. So here it is the tangent function graph. So -1 to 1, very important. So maybe they can ask you like this to confuse, okay, activation functions. So they will ask you which activation function used in hidden layers and explain, okay. So like that also they can ask. So immediately you have to think, oh, sir explained tan h function for hidden layers, so we have to write about hidden layers. So whenever you are going to write the activation function, so for every activation function you define what is activation function, and you write equation, and you write nature, and you write the range of that activation function and graph, okay. If you remember all these things, and you can write more data. So ReLU function, rectified linear unit, it is the most widely used activation function. It is implemented in hidden layers of neural networks. So it is also implementing in hidden layers of neural networks. So what type of neural networks used in ReLU means convolutional neural networks. Okay, that it is not in our syllabus, but if you write these point in exam also, they will think you are, oh, this girl having so much knowledge about activation functions like that. Okay, if you want, you can note it down. Otherwise, leave it. Okay. So what is the equation? Maximum of 0 comma x. So it gives an output value x. If x is positive, maximum value, otherwise 0. Okay. So what is the range? 0 and infinity. Nature also non-linear nature. Okay. So here you see, back propagate the errors and have multiple layers of neurons being activated by ReLU function. So whenever we are applying the back propagation algorithm, so we can use this ReLU function. Okay. That you have to remember. Uses computationally expensive compared to tanh and sigmoid. It involves simpler mathematical operations because there is what is the function max value you have to find. Maximum of 0 comma x. Okay. This is the graph. Very easy. And softmax function. Okay. In simple words, ReLU lens much faster than sigmoid and tanh function. Okay. Softmax function is also type of sigmoid function, but is handy when we are trying to handle classification problems. Okay. What is the nature? Non-linear nature. So where we are using this and why we are using this multiple classification. So maybe you can use for clustering because we are giving so many types of data and we want to separate data for each type. So then we are using the softmax function. Okay. And we would squeeze the outputs for each class between 0 and 1. Would also divide by the sum of the outputs. We are dividing the sum of the outputs, that we can call it as a multiple classification, or we can call it as a clustering also. Is ideally used in the output layer of the classifier, the final layer. Okay. Even sigmoid function also we are applying at final layer only. You have to choose the right activation function based on the network and their operations. Okay. If it is a binary classification, we are using sigmoid. If it is a multi classification, we are using softmax function. This is the graph. Okay. From this graph, you can explain the range 0 to infinity. Okay. This again, for your reference, activation function does the nonlinear transformation to the input, making it capable to learn and perform more complex tasks. Okay. Why? I'm giving many times this statement. If you read many times, then you remember what is the rule of activation function. Okay. Then classification. What types of ANN networks? Okay. So here interconnections. So what is interconnections means? One node is connecting to other node in next layer. Each and every node is connected to other node in next layers, and all these are, we can call it as a interconnections, that you have to understand from the diagram. Also we have 5 basic types of neuron connection architectures: single layer feed forward network, multi-layer feed forward network, recurrent networks. Okay. Again, single node with its own feedback, single layer recurrent network, multi-layer recurrent network. Okay. So this you can see number of interconnections. Suppose we are taking only 2 layers in this network. X1 is connected to every node in this output layer. Okay. So and every connection having some weight. It is associated with weight. Okay. W11, W12. We are representing in 2-dimensional representation. W13 up to so on WNM. Okay. If n nodes are connected to m nodes. Okay, so these are all called interconnections. If you want to write more explanation in exam, you can write. So x1 is connected to y1, y2, y1, ym. Okay, x1 is connected through y1 using the weight w11, always carrying the weight, like that you can write. Okay, so now to try to understand what is interconnection. Okay, and here only feed forward. So we are forwarding the values from x1 to y1, and y1 calculates if there is any other network, other layer, so it will forward the values to this layer. Okay, so this is the feed forward mechanism, only forwarding the values to hidden layers. Again, hidden layers forwards the values to output layer. Okay, all the calculations done at hidden layer, and these values forwarded to output layer. Okay, don't confuse. Only here input layer and output layer. So input layer we will not consider. The calculations and activation function applied at output layer. So that's why this is the major function of neural network. That's why we can call, if there are two layers, input layer and output layer, we can say it is a single layer feed forward network. Okay, try to understand. And multi-layer. Okay, multi-layer feed forward networks. First of all, what is multi-layer? Many layers in artificial neural network. This diagram represents 3 layers of neural network with m and n nodes, or n nodes and m layers. You can explain like this. So this is layer 1, input layer 1. We are feeding the input values to this x1 and x2 and xn. Okay, and again lot of interconnections to hidden layer, and all the calculations performed here. Again these calculations forwarded to the output layer z1, z2, zm. Okay, or you can write v1, v2, vm. Okay, so according to McCulloch-Pitts network, the net input calculated values we can refer as v1, v2 up to so on vk. That is, doesn't matter. Okay, don't worry about that. So here propagating values forward direction, the input values forwarded to hidden layer computations performed, the values are forwarded to the output layer. This is called multi-layer feed forward network. Okay, next, recurrent neural networks. That means here we are introducing the concept of perceptron, so that we will discuss slowly. Okay, so single node with its own feedback, the first network. So we are using only one node, and we are supplying many input values per node. Okay, so here everything is calculated, the values are calculated, and it generates the output. Okay, here you see the output may be one output or many outputs. Again it will give the feedback to the node. Okay, so that means we are redirecting the outputs to the node. Okay, so again we are redirecting the outputs to the node. This is called recurrent neural network. We are giving the same output as an input for the node. Okay, so that I explained here. When outputs can be directed back as inputs to the same layer or preceding layer nodes, then it results feedback networks. This network we can call it as a feedback. So why this network is called feedback? We are feeding backwards the output values to the same node. This is called feedback network. Recurrent networks are feedback networks. Okay, so before going to the next network, you have to understand what is a feedback network. Feedback network means we are, just you try to understand the picture, don't by heart anything. Okay, so we are giving this connection again to the node. That means we are giving the output values as a input to the node. Okay, that is called feedback. We are sending backwards the values to the node. That is called feedback. This is called recurrent node. Next, single layer recurrent network. We have only two layers. So one is input layer and another one is output layer. Here every output layer again feed back to the same node. Here also the output of y2 is feedback to the same nodes in output layer. So here example y1 is output. This output is again feedback to the y1 and y2 and ym. So again we are feeding to the same layer. Okay. So similarly y2 also, similarly ym also. So in exam you can explain what is a y1 output layer, output node 1. So the output node 1 value is y1 and we are feeding back again to the same node y1, same layer another node y2, same layer another node ym. Like this you can explain. Okay. So here this is the main layer here. All the computations performed here and again all values feedback to the same node. So that is called single layer recurrent network. Okay. Next, multi-layer recurrent network means, so just compare the above picture and this picture. There is a lot of difference. Okay, here we are using hidden layers, and in the above diagram we are feed back the values to the same output layer, but we are not feeding back to the same output layer. Okay, we are feeding to the hidden layers. Okay, hidden layer is y1, y2, y3, and here output layer we can termed as a z layer. Z1, Z2, Z3 are the three hidden output nodes. Okay, so this Z1 output value again we feed back to the hidden layer y1. Z2 output value feedback to the y2 same. Okay, y1 and y3. Okay, all the values we are feeding back to the y1, y2, y3 layers. Okay, so this is called multi-layer recurrent network. So